Alright, now starting where we left off in the last video, we're going to create this data store. So when the player joins, we want to load their data. So we're going to make a data variable, and we're going to say Obby store get async. And this will get any data for the player, and we're going to make sure it gets your user ID, because that's the most unique thing about a player. And we're going to say if data, or even better yet, if not data, then print player is new. And we're going to say else if data, then. So if they do have data, what do we do? Print, we're going to say player, we're going to just say returning player. And we're going to stop it right there for now. And we're going to go here into players removing. So we're going to make another data variable. We're going to make it a table. And there's going to be one value in here, and we're going to call it stages. Right? And every time they leave, it's going to be equal to the players, like what it says right here, the leader stats, the stages, and the value. So whatever stage we're at, it's going to save that number in this amazing table called data. All right. And then we're just going to say Obby store set async. We're going to set the player's user ID, and we're going to save the data table. And then bind to close, so if the server for some reason forcibly crashes, we need to be able to save data for everyone. And we're going to say game.players, get players, which is going to get every player under game.players. And what it's going to do is get the data table again. And then we're going to equal v.leaderstats.stages.value. And we're going to say Obby store set async. Same deal as last time, but instead of player, we're going to have to use v.user ID, and we're saving the data. All right, now let's go back up here. And actually, I mistyped that else if statement. So yeah, get rid of that, the end that was down here, and make sure there's no space between the else and if. Okay, so now let's actually load data. So here we're gonna reference the players, leader stats, dot stages, dot value will equal data dot stages. So data dot stages. So it'll be whatever we saved our value as. So if that's the case, if there is no data, we're going to go ahead and do what it recommends here and actually set the value to 0, so there's a default value. Awesome. So let's give this a shot, see if this works. All right, see, it says player is new, set me to 0. And let's alter my leader stats here from the server end, that way it actually properly saves. And let's say I'm at stage 5. All right, and we're going to leave. This is data saved, data saved. And the reason it does that is because I've left, but also when you hit that stop button in the testing environment, it counts it as a server shutting down / crashing, so it'll fire off both. See? Stage is saved. Alright, so something I didn't catch while I was recording this video is that actually having it saved twice like that is really bad. And I think I explained this later in the video, but when it saves too many times, it can break the data store, and it will cause data loss, which is not good if you want your players to retain their stages, especially if you have, let's say, 100 level Obby. You don't want them to lose, say, their 63 stages that they've completed and then get reset back to 0, because then they're not going to want to play your game again. So I'm actually going to go over how I fixed this, and yeah, right back to the video. Alright guys, so I figured out the issue with the data store. So to stop it from sending too many requests when saving data, I basically went into the players removing, and I made sure that if there is more than one player in game, then it'll save your data. Otherwise, the server will close since you're the last player in the game. So yeah, if there's more people in the server, it's not going to fire both of these at the same time. It's only going to fire this. However, if you're the last person in the lobby, then it's going to fire this and not this. So that way you're not sending too many data store requests, which can be bad and can lead to data store loss. So just add this if statement and stuff the 2 lines we had in here before within it. Okay, so now that we got that saved, it saves data. Awesome. But there is one more thing we can do to make this a little bit more secure, and that is by using pcalls, which will basically help catch an error, and if it errors out, it'll tell you, and it shouldn't lead to any loss of data. And it's just a safe measure. I mean, you can run it like this if you want, because it does what you need it to do. However, I want to add just a little bit of extra security onto it. So data saves and it loads properly. So the data store's over. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video where we're going to be building a very basic lobby, maybe add a few fun twists here and there, and finalize the game.